Becoming the Wave, the Law of the Signal, and the Hermeticism of Thoth. Have you ever noticed that when you finally stop chasing things, things start chasing you? It's as if the universe, after long observing your anxious race, is waiting for the moment when you stop, breathe, and remember who you really are. In that instant, reality seems to respond with an almost magical precision, like an echo that returns clear only when the original sound stops being distorted. Today I want to lead you into this subtle truth, where Eric Riven's signal law meets the ancient hermetic laws attributed to Thoth, to demonstrate that modern energetic science and ancient initiatory wisdom describe, in different languages, the same invisible thread that governs life. What changes is not the law, but our ability to listen to it. Identity precedes the result. This is the pivot. According to Riven, you don't attract what you desire with your mind, but what you embody deep down. Your identity, the vibration you emanate, the way you perceive yourself and the world, form a constant signal that informs reality. The universe doesn't react to your desires expressed in words, but to the silent tone of your inner frequency. In Hermetic terms, this idea is intertwined with the principle of mentalism. Everything is mind, and mind is the primary substance of creation. What you think, and even more so, what you are as a mental and emotional state, shapes the subtle levels of reality, which are reflected in the material plane. If you live in fear of not being enough, that vibration spreads like a wave of scarcity, attracting circumstances that confirm it. If, however, you consistently embody trust, calm, and presence, situations rearrange themselves. People respond differently. Events seem to miraculously align. It's not luck nor destiny, but law. This changes everything. If what you've heard so far resonates with you, I propose a simple but impactful gesture. Press hype now. It's an extra signal for the algorithm that amplifies our reach to send a quality index that helps us reach like-minded people. And if you'd like to support this work on an ongoing basis, subscribe to the channel. It's an act of conscious participation that stabilizes the pace of publications, enables the creation of ever-improving practical materials, and transforms listening into living practice. Before changing, listen. Silently ask yourself what tone you truly emanate when you enter a room, when you write, when you ask questions. Record 3 clues: your body, where you hold your breath and where you flow; your language, which words recur without you realizing it; and your relationships, who you seek and who you avoid. From this trace, your habitual level emerges, not to judge it but to transmute it with lucidity. It's a form of audit that Riven calls signal decoding, and which Hermeticism honors as an exercise of consciousness, seeing clearly before intervening, because what is unseen governs. What is seen, however, can be educated. The word is not cosmetic, it is the architecture of the signal. In Hermetic terms, your identity is not an accident, but the fulcrum of all creation. Everything begins with the internal state. Where the modern mind sees desire, Hermeticism recognizes causality. Where common thought sees effort, tradition sees dissonance. From here arises a teaching of extraordinary sobriety. Alignment is worth more than effort. Riven invites us to abandon the system of effort, to stop trying to bend reality by force, and instead learn to cooperate with it. Hermeticism explains why, with the principle of rhythm, everything in nature has its tides, its cycles of ebb and flow. When you row against the current, you exhaust yourself. When you recognize the movement of the wave and let yourself be carried, you become an instrument of its flow. Rhythm determines surrender. It is not renunciation, but cosmic intelligence, understanding that life itself is a breath, and that those who breathe with it know no effort but grace. This grace is not born from inaction, but from precision. It is the ability to seize the exact moment when an intuition demands action, and when an action, having become sterile, demands to be suspended. How many times have you forced a decision when everything within you told you to wait? How many times have you hesitated just when life opened a door for you? The tides of the universe are real, and Hermeticism calls them the law of rhythm. Recognizing them is the first step to cooperating with them. Riven translates this ancient wisdom into modern language, telling you, don't do more, vibrate better. And when it vibrates better, manifestation loses uncertainty and acquires method. From here, another luminous convergence unfolds. Riven calls joy and play energetic superpowers. Thoth would say they are lofty manifestations of the law of vibration. Both recognize that lightness is not a diversion, but a constructive force. The man who knows how to rejoice in the midst of hardship generates coherence. The woman who knows how to laugh in the midst of doubt dissolves the densest shadows. This is not naive optimism, but energetic mastery. Contemporary science, using other tools, also confirms this. The brain in a state of pleasure activates neuroplasticity, the creative mind opens, and reality responds more harmoniously. It's the same truth as Thoth expressed in quantum language. Higher vibration transforms lower matter. The gold of awareness redeems the lead of fear. Joy is technique, not ornament. However, it's not enough to adorn the mind with good intentions. Monitor your language, because every I have to, I can't, it's no use anyway, lowers the signal and nails your consciousness to a lower level. Replace it with I choose, I can learn. Now that's enough. It's not cosmetics, but subtle engineering. The word orients the mind and delivers it, by correspondence, to the world that reflects it. Remember, universal laws respond to the form you give to your inner voice. But the most profound transformation occurs not in emotion, but in identity. Riven speaks of an identity shift, stopping correcting flaws and directly embodying the new version of oneself. It's a silent revolution. It's not about repeating positive affirmations, but about assuming a new level of consciousness, like the alchemist who transforms the inner substance before the outer world bears witness to it. Hermeticism calls this process mental alchemy, conceiving the new self in the invisible womb of the mind, receptive principle, and then imprinting that form in reality, active principle. The ritual is simple and precise. Choose an identifying phrase, anchor it in your breath, and bring it to life with a coherent gesture. Always respond within 24 hours. Complete every task you begin. Keep your word. Minimal actions that, when repeated, become a stable form of energy. After 3 days, the signal lights up. After 7, it stabilizes. After 21, it crystallizes. It is the law of rhythm applied to the psychology of the self. The body decides faster than the mind. 3 cycles of coherent breathing, shoulder blades opening, gaze at the horizon. The circuit changes and the thought follows. Don't pretend to trust, but breathe it until the chest recognizes it. Don't fake clarity, but restore the body to the form of clarity. Verticality without rigidity, softness without yielding. It's the somatic switch of degree. When the body aligns, the mind stops sabotaging, action becomes simple. Relationship example. The conversation becomes tense. The other person raises their voice. Instead of reacting from the defense and reason level, choose protection and listening. A short sentence, I'm listening, tell me what's bothering you, transmutes the polarity. The pace of the conversation slows. Previously invisible details emerge, and the solution becomes viable. You've shifted the level. The world has responded. When Riven mentions the energetic codes of money, power, and presence, Thoth would respond that they are not mysteries to be unraveled, but laws to be remembered. Money is nothing more than the symbolic measure of distributed value. Those who give without balance become empty. Those who withhold without flow become poisoned. Money example. Define the value you truly create, observable transformation in your followers, then create a clear container, a clear offer, a simple login page, a measurable promise, and choose a delivery rhythm you can maintain without breaking. Value, container, rhythm. The flow opens. Authentic power is not dominating, but mastering oneself, controlling one's thoughts, ordering one's breathing, guarding one's words. This is true sovereignty. Presence, finally, is the fruit of all this. The stillness that attracts, the clarity that persuades, the peace that influences. In a distracted world, presence is silent charisma. And like any art, it must be practiced. 1 minute a day of undivided attention, free of distractions, perceiving body, breath, and space, is enough. 60 seconds of total integrity. In that tiny interval, the entire universe reorders itself. Every signal that attempts to bend another collapses upon itself. Don't summon adherence, summon resonances. Power that matters is self-government, not influence over others. Thus, the signal remains pure, and the universe responds without friction. This is the ethics of the signal, where hermetic restraint saves from predatory drift. The goal is not to force outcomes, but to strengthen coherence, because only coherence deserves to endure. Consistent practice is the seal that unites theory and embodiment. 20 minutes a day are enough to realign the signal and reweave coherence. 3 minutes to breathe and ground yourself, 7 to write down who you choose to be today and why, 7 to act consistently, 3 to give thanks and promise yourself the same fidelity tomorrow. Measure little and well. You observe the effects at the end of the week, results, income, feedback. You seal the causes every day, minutes of presence, promises kept, coherent gestures performed. The causes are the altar, the effects the mirror. The hermeticist tends to the altar, and the mirror obeys. Yet every ascent brings with it its counterwave. When the signal strengthens, the universal rhythm responds with an opposite oscillation. A day of toil, a sudden doubt, a return to old habits. It is not regression, but verification. The law of rhythm manifests itself to ensure that the new level is stable. Here, Hermeticism offers the noblest key, neutralization, neither exaltation nor despair, but centering. One recognizes the alternation, accepts the storm surge, and remains at the midpoint, where consciousness does not turmoil but observes. The counterwave does not punish, it verifies and consolidates. When you learn not to identify with the high or the low, the world ceases to dominate you. From this perspective, Riven's law of the signal is nothing more than a modern version of the emerald tablet. That which is below is as that which is above, and that which is above is as that which is below, says Thoth. Riven would say, your inside creates the outside, 2 languages, 1 truth. But Thoth adds a warning, knowledge without measure becomes blind power. This is why Hermeticism insists on the balance between will and compassion, between action and contemplation. Without this balance, the signal becomes distorted. Pure vibration, on the other hand, is humble, sober, and clear. The union of these 2 perspectives offers a complete path. Riven's modernity provides us with rapid and concrete tools for working on identity. Thoth's tradition restores depth, measure, and verticality. Together, they form a bridge between the language of the soul and the science of the mind. Their combined message is simple and dizzying. It's not about achieving more, but about becoming more. When you raise your level of consciousness, reality cannot help but tune into the new frequency. When your signal is purified, relationships are rewritten, situations soften, and even obstacles become allies of growth. It is then that you stop seeking and become the answer yourself. You are no longer the one who pursues, but the one who emanates, not the one who asks, but the one who bears witness. Don't seek confirmation, become the confirmation. Every day, with small but impeccable actions, you can seal this state. At first, it's an act of will, then discipline, finally joy. When joy becomes your natural way of being, the world no longer resists you, it responds. Everything you seek begins to seek you, and life takes on a sweetness that depends not on conditions, but on the quality of your breath. At that point, you have truly stopped chasing, because you have become the wave. If this journey between Riven and Thoth resonated with your experience, please leave a like to support the dissemination of content that combines ancient knowledge with modern practice. Leave me a short phrase in the comments as a seal of presence. For example, I choose my degree, so we can set the intention together to consciously embody the signal we wish to send into the world. And if you feel this message has offered you real inspiration for transformation, subscribe to the channel. Every week you'll find new reflections and tools to sharpen your mind, expand your consciousness, and live in harmony with the subtlest laws of the universe. Thank you for dedicating your time, your attention, and your heart to these words. I hope you recognize your highest frequency, preserve it with elegance, and see it reflected everywhere, like a song of light that never fades. See you soon.